Hi everyone. So today we will look at part 3 of observer pattern. We'll be looking at the implementation. So before deep diving into the implementation, few things to call out. What is observer pattern? So basically it defines one-to-many relationship between the object and its dependents, and all of its dependents are automatically notified and updated. Okay. There are not two, three things. Okay. Subject which holds the subject is the one which holds the state and registered observers with itself. Observers which are the ones which subscribes to the subject to get the information of the state. It can also unsubscribe if it wishes to do so, and any new observer can come and register itself to the subject. Okay. Now let's look at the code base. So we have a display interface, okay, which has a method called as display, okay. Um, and there are three display concrete classes which I have created, okay. You can see which is current condition, then statistics display, and there is a forecast display, okay. We have a subject interface which has the required methods which whether or data object needs to implement. As you can see, it has register observer, remove observer, notify observers, and getters are there. And in case if we want to print the observers too, then there is a print observer method as well. Okay. So now, if we look at data concrete classes, as said, we have the state, temperature, pressure, humidity. We have list of observer interface. Okay, and we have weather data, which is being lazily initialized, and we have registered observer, remove observer, notify observer. We are making use of Streams API instead of doing the for loop thing. Okay. And then we have getters and setters of the state, that is temperature, pressure, and humidity. We have measurement changed a method which is only calling notify observers. Okay. And there is something called a set weather data object. So this is the set weather data object which you can imagine your weather station is calling and is pushing the latest details of temperature, pressure, and humidity. Okay. So, and here the measurement, so whenever this method is called, data is set into these state of the weather data object, and the measurement change method is called, which internally calls notify observers. And what the notify observer is doing, basically it is calling the update method of the observers. Okay, so this is my weather data class, as you can see. Now, if we look at now what I show, there are two interfaces. One is display interface, which has display method, and you can see we have an observer interface instead of display interface. So what is this observer interface? It has a method called as update. Now, what is the benefit of having these two methods? Okay, so the idea is the update job will be only to capture the updated data. Okay, and it will internally call display, and display job will be only to display the data. So that is why we have created two interfaces over here, and both these interfaces are being implemented, as you can see. So if you see current condition display class, so we have, let's say it is using two data pointers only, that is temperature and pressure. Okay, and as said, we need a hazard relationship with the concrete classes. Reason being, we don't want parameters to be injected in update method unnecessarily. Okay. So whatever data pointer is required, dot get I can do and get the data. So that is why this has a relationship. And in constructor itself, I'm registering it. Okay. You can see I'm registering this observer to the weather data subject. Okay, and you can see whenever the update method is called, we are setting the data, and then we are calling this display method, as you can see, to display the data. Okay, same goes with forecast display, you can see. Okay, so all three parameters it is using, it has a hazard relationship weather data. And in constructor we are registering the current object which is created. Okay, and to this weather data subject, and we have display, and you can see in update we are doing whatever data pointers are required and calling display method. Same way if you see statistics display, excuse me, you can see that we have we have two interfaces again, display and observer interfaces getting implemented, so two methods. And it is using pressure and humidity as a data pointer, and it has a hazard relationship with weather data. And in constructor we are doing constructor injection over here. Okay, uh, and we are registering to this weather data subject, and yeah, we are setting the data pointers and displaying it. So yeah, this is overall what you can see, the entire code basis. Now if you look at my client, so in client what I'm doing, so I created current condition display and forecast display. So these are my two objects. Okay, since I'm subscribing to one particular subject, that is weather data subject, so what is happening in constructor itself, it is registering itself whenever I'm creating the object of current condition display or forecast display. Then I'm printing the observer. So what subject has what all observers? So if you see in the output, it is current condition display and forecast display. Okay, it is printing. Now what I'm doing, I'm calling set weather data object method. So I'm setting temperature, pressure and humidity. Okay, so if I'm doing set, so automatically it should get updated. What I had said, right? These OB1 and OB2, these displays should automatically get updated. So you see they are getting automatically being called. So current conditions for current condition display and forecast conditions for forecast display. So current condition uses only two parameters, that is temperature and I guess pressure. So 924 is getting printed. For forecast, it is all three. So all three data pointers are getting printed. Now I created one more object. So when I'm creating, I'm subscribing in the constructor itself of the statistics display as said earlier. So now if I do set weather data, so all three, so current conditions, forecast conditions, and statistics pressure. So all three data pointers are getting displayed. You can see in the output. Okay. Now once after all the three has been displayed, now what I'm doing, I'm printing observers to check what all observers I have subscribed to this particular weather data subject. So I see all three, okay, in the output, so which is current condition display, forecast display and statistic display. After that I remove the observer. Which observer I'm removing this current condition observer. Okay, so if I'm moving OB1, automatically what should happen? OB1 should not get notified, and what should happen? Only OB2 and OB3, that is forecast condition and statistics display, should have the display method should be called. Okay, so if you see the output, okay, so forecast and statistics is there, and if you print the observers, you will see only forecast display and statistics display only. Got it? So yeah, this was the entire observer pattern. So it is also called as publisher and subscriber. So your publisher is the one who is publishing the data, which is your weather data, and subscriber is like your these displays, which is subscribing to this data pointers. Okay. So publisher is basically your set weather data object. Okay, whoever is calling the set data weather object and setting the data is a publisher, and your broker is your weather data object which has all the data pointers. Okay, and your subscriber is your current condition display which is subscribing whatever data it needs. Okay, so very important thing. Okay, in case of notification or any kind of publisher subscriber thing you are developing it, this is used. Okay. So yeah, this was all your observer pattern. I hope you understood it. Thank you so much. Bye bye.